All right then, here we are, in the capital of the decadent US of A.
Now widely regarded as one of the most important bands ever, The Clash disintegrated over a 12-month period when the band were actually at their peak. Why was this? And exactly what happened next? This is the story.
People say to me, what happened to The Clash? Why did they break up? I always say, well, they went mad. And people think I'm joking, and I'm not.
I am punk.
Bernie would always describe The Clash early on as a very creative situation. And I think he did believe, genuinely did believe in that. I think he believed in the group very, very much.
Bernie was, I called it an intellectual of fashion and the zeitgeist. When I went to his house in Camden, he had an empty room, and in the room were these piles of magazines, Marxist Today mainly, and they were piled up high, so about 2 foot high, and he used those instead of chairs.
Compared to Malcolm McLaren, Bernie was the real deal. He was the one who was kind of fueling McLaren, who was a bit of a dilettante and would flit on to the next thing, but a lot of that was Bernie. Bernie came up with the name the Sex Pistols. For a few months, he had to sort of sit there while McLaren took the Pistols to become the most notorious band in the country.
Bernard Rhodes to me is like Emperor's New Clothes. He's just someone who's pumped himself up into something that he wasn't really, as a person, as a man, as a manager. He's very much always sort of on the coattails of Malcolm McLaren, trying to copy his way, but without the finesse, without the charm, and without the artistic vision.
But he wanted a band that would almost be his mouthpiece.
Joe and Paul especially loved Bernie, and he did bring so much great stuff to the table that I can't make fun of it. He wound them up in the right way. He told them not to be pussies. He said, you know, don't talk about love and don't talk about cars, talk about politics.
Bernard Rhodes is like, really, you got to consider him as a member of the Clash, because he did put obviously a lot of ideas into the band, so it's a very unusual situation where you get like a manager who's not like aloof from the band, he's actually part of the creative process of it, I suppose.
I would say he's not a good manager, and he didn't understand how to keep things together, how to solve problems. He only understood this sort of conflict management. But having said that, you wouldn't have the Clash if Bernie hadn't done that.
Well, he's a very intelligent guy. He's always thinking outside the box and always got something to say in terms of what you should do, which is very good if you need to know what you need to do. You know, you should always remain open to things, and Bernie was always very challenging, and that's like kind of gets your mind going, you know, so it's like a big part of things. But he didn't, the only trouble is that he wasn't sharing with us as much as he should have done, probably.
Because he didn't like telling you about what he was organising. He liked to sort of surprise you with things, you know.
He was an easy figure of fun for the band to, you know, plant a piece of cheese on his head while you're talking to him so that you're collapsing laughing when he's telling you about the Paris riots. But on the other hand, he had some brilliant ideas.
Bernie Rhodes would arrive at the door, I'd open the door, he'd push past me, up the stairs, and not speak a word to me, not even look me in the eye. He's a rude, socially inept person.
Asshole. Sorry. He's an asshole.
Bernie's managerial technique as such, if it existed, was something which was obscured. But I know that Joe lent heavily on his opinion. You know, like, what do we do next? What are we doing? What does it all mean? Bernie could always reduce it to a simple sort of political thing.
I think Bernie is one of the unsung heroes of music management. I just think it's great that he brought this kind of mad, anarchic, political energy to the band, and that he ran the band like it was some kind of military operation where people were expendable.
Johnny come marching home again around. In the autumn of 1978, the increasing conflict between Bernard Rhodes and the band, and in particular Mick, led to the sacking of the manager. After 2 years with Black Hill Management, run by Peter Jenner and Andrew Keane, who had previously managed the Pink Floyd, Bernie was reinstated as the manager. It is worth noting that during the absence of Bernie, the Clash produced some of their most enduring and inspirational work, London Calling and Sandinista.
Before Bernie came back, they had Black Hill Management, and they were all really great people as well. It was a whole organization, but I think the Clash felt they were just too nice and safe for them.
Bernie had been sacked, then they'd come back. It's probably cap in hand, please come back and save us. He wasn't going to blow it this time. He was going to assert himself.
Bernie Rhodes came along and got him away from there and took over.
But they were £500,000 in debt at that time. So I had to dig them out of a hole.
I understand it was Joe who insisted that Bernard come back and sort it out, to give them fresh impetus, to give them new ideas.
Oh, because we were reeling out of control completely, yeah. And he was like, he sensed that. It's not that we wanted to be in control, but we were just like drifting in space, I reckon.
They weren't comfortable with things running around smoothly, and so whenever Bernie was around, then things became chaos and madness, and that's what they liked. Joe and Paul, that is. I think Mick was a bit more happy being comfortable.
He wanted to sack everybody, all our crew and stuff, and so it was like, everybody seemed to be going along with it, and I didn't want to go along with it. All the guys who'd been working with us for so long, and they wanted to sack them.
Mick hated the fact Bernie was back.
Because he always thought he was out to scam him.
I'm watching you.
He always knew that it was something to do with his money or something like that. He was out to scam him. But he had him sus from the beginning. But to keep Joe sweet, he went along with it.
Joe was the one who wanted the edge put back in the band, and he felt that with Bernie you had that edge, whereas the rest of the band didn't really have much respect. I mean, Paul did a big mural that was on the wall of rehearsals of like a naked Bernie getting shat on by pigeons.
And then they had that bloody Cosmo come in with his stupidness, right? Yeah. So it's like he was Mick's window cleaner or God knows what, and I had to give him a purpose, so I made him into a really good press agent.
I lived with Cosmo Vinyl, who became the Clash publicist. He was obsessed by the Clash before he worked for them.
What do you do for the Clash?
Whatever needs doing. Anything. Wash a pair of socks, go and see the record company.
Cosmo was the pressman. He used to work with Ian Dury before as a pressman. And Cosmo couldn't get anything done.
He influenced the way the band looked with that kind of, this is the stuff you stick on your hair. He steamed in, basically.